What's happening, investors, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are speaking about a company that has me very excited, and that is Nano Dimension, ticker symbol Nndm. In this video, I just want to go over the financials of the company and speak about some upcoming things that they're working on, because I just heard the interview that Jovan Stern, the CEO of the company, had with our Red Chip Money Report, and it has me extremely bullish. As of recording, I do not own a position in this company. However, I'm probably going to have to open one up and hold this for the long term, because I see some massive growth here. Before we get started, to those new to the channel, my name is Dean. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I'm just someone who loves researching and investing in stocks and crypto because I want to make some money. I want to retire early and maybe buy a Lambo, who knows. And all I ask in return is that you please invest in the like button, add the subscribe button to your portfolio, and turn on notifications. With that out of the way, let's stop wasting time and get straight into the video. As you can see, Nano Dimension had another green day, and I say another green day because they have been trending green all week long, particularly after this interview. The stock is currently trading at $8.77, up another 1.74%. Let's start with looking at the balance sheet. Now, the first thing I want to point your attention to is the amount of cash and cash equivalents. We're looking at over $1 billion. In fact, the total current assets for the company are $1.4 billion, which is absolutely insane considering that the total current liabilities are only $7 million. So they're definitely not going broke anytime soon. In the interview, Vaughn was asked, what is he going to do with this money? And I know I'm butchering his name, so give me a break, okay? I'm sorry. So he said that for the next 5 to 7 years, shareholders now don't have to worry about dilution, which is a big thing because this company was diluting shares. Now, this is something that he's claiming that shareholders don't need to worry about. So for the next 5 to 7 years, you can buy this stock and not worry about getting a smaller slice of the pie. Now, the big thing is the R&D. They are saying that they are going to be able to develop new technologies much faster than most companies in the industry can even afford. And to put that in perspective, he said over the past 5 years that the company has existed, they have spent $50 to $80 million on technology and development. Well, they're planning to spend close to this every single year for the next 3 years. So we're going to see 5 years growth every year, in other words. So we can expect to see huge things happening. Another thing is the channels to market. A big issue that this company was facing previously was they didn't have enough money to enter all the three major big markets, being the US, EU, and Asia. Well, now they have enough money to do this with ease, so they're targeting all three fronts. And one thing that is going to help them achieve this is going to be acquisitions. So they're going to acquire distribution channels, but also acquire technology. And this gives them the opportunity to increase the potential market. And what I mean by this is, as they're acquiring more technologies, they're entering more markets. So this company can be a dominant force in the industry over a broad sector. Now, what about the revenues? Well, as you can see, for the 3-month period ended March 31st, so the first quarter of 2020, they did $702 million in revenue. And in 2021, same quarter, they did $811 million. So this is an increase. But what has me excited is what they're planning to do in the future. You got to realize that this company is selling high margin units, and now that they have the money, they also have the opportunity to rent and lease these units, meaning reoccurring revenues, and also they can probably sell these at a higher rate. If they're renting them out, I'm sure they're charging a premium, meaning more money for the company. So not only do they have reoccurring revenues, which if you know me on this channel, it's something that I love to speak about, it's also selling already high margin machines. So they're not losing money on the machines they're selling because there's such high margin. Another thing is the service contract, and I don't think there's enough consideration put onto this. They have an annual service contract for new licensing, new technologies, software, and those things, and this equates to being 10 to 12% per year of the machine's cost. So this is another stream of recurring revenue, which is going to last for the lifetime of the machine. So we can imagine how much this will compound and accumulate. You know, us investors, we love our compounding, or this is something that Nano Dimensions is going to benefit from. Another thing is materials, okay? Just like a traditional printer sells ink, well, these 3D printers need the printable material, and this is another thing that Nano Dimensions is selling and profiting on. The CEO went to say that his potential market opportunity was currently $70 billion. And this is something that will increase not only as the market grows, because this is such a new industry, but also as they make more acquisitions and enter new markets because they add more products and technology to their catalog, so to say. And another big thing is that there is minimal to no competition, and this builds kind of a moat, okay? This company has a massive competitive advantage, being that their technology is the best, and that there's no one else that's doing it right now, and if they're doing it, it's minimal compared to them. So they have a massive market with little competition, and I expect huge growth in this company over the long term, particularly when you look at the money they're putting back in and the money they've got, guys. This company is not going broke anytime soon, and that does leave me with confidence because this is still considered a smaller company. And when you invest in these smaller companies, typically the reason why they've got so much risk is because they're losing money and they don't have money to keep going. Well, Nano Dimensions might not yet be profitable, however, they do have enough money to keep going, and I'm sure profitability is something that we can see in the future, and that will be absolutely massive for this company. If we consider the market cap and the price right now, is this overvalued? Sure, the stock has gone up a substantial amount, but is it overvalued? Well, the market cap of the stock is currently $2.249 billion, which is a decent market cap. However, they've got $1.4 billion in current assets alone. This stock isn't trading for much more than the raw cash they have in the bank, so to speak. So I don't think this is overvalued whatsoever. And if you consider over the past 5 days, they were trading at $7.34 a share and they've been climbing up. Now, sure, you are paying a higher rate, but if you're invested in them in the long term, and of course, this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're invested in this company over the long term, I would say maybe look at averaging in. Buy some now, buy some later. That's what I'm personally going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of a pullback. Always after I see these big moves over a long period of time, I always say, hey, don't get too upset if we see a pullback, and just look at that as a buying opportunity. Pullbacks are healthy. Even the best companies go into some pullbacks, and I'm not saying a massive pullback. I'm not saying this stock's going to crash and sell your position. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Just to be clear, I am very bullish in this company. I'm looking to buy some shares. I'm just saying that we might see a few red days. Just try not to sell out because of fear. If you want to sell out, take some profits, sure, that's a different story. At the end of the day, it's your money, do as you please, but just try not to act emotionally. Try not to sell out because of fear, because of a few red days. I see it happen way too much in stocks, and then they start going up and people start buying back in, and you miss out on those big percentage gains, which could really make a huge difference over your portfolio over a long period of time. Analysts have price targets of $10 a share. Given that this is only one analyst and I couldn't find too many covering this stock, it's not anything crazy to go about. However, it is nice to see a bullish analyst perspective. I would expect that as this company starts gaining more reputation and starts growing, we see more analysts start covering the company, and hopefully then we'll see more price targets and maybe even some bigger ones, because I'm not too sure when this analyst made this price target, but if you look at the recent news of the company and just how much money they've got and what they're planning to do, look at their last earnings, look at the interview that they just had, I believe a lot's changed for the positive. That is going to wrap up this video for today, guys. It was a shorter one than usual. It's just I really was doing my research and wanted to get this out there as soon as possible. As I said, I'm looking to invest in this company. I will continue to cover them on this channel. And one more thing is, make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on, because I'm going to make a in-depth video on the company. If you don't know who Nano Dimensions are, I'm going to make an in-depth video because this video was obviously assuming you already know a bit about the company. So my next video on this stock will be a very in-depth one, going over the investor presentation and more about what the company actually does. So if you're interested in that, be sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications. And if you already know about the company, make sure you're subscribed anyway, because I will continue to cover this stock. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video.